All right, I've got this mower that had the mouse nest in it. I got all that cleaned out, and particularly I had to pay attention to this part down here where a lot of the debris was, because it has to travel. This arm from the thermostat has to travel in this little groove, so I couldn't have that full of debris. And you see, it's going to go this way, and that's the correct function. And see how it springs back? That's what you want. You want it to spring back. If it doesn't spring back, then this thermostat's defective. And so this thermostat is good. It's springing back like it should. And I've got enough of this cleaned out now where I think it's acceptable. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. Now, I mentioned to you the blade end was bent, and I was afraid that meant that they had hit something hard enough to shear the flywheel key, and that is the case. So I wanted to show you that and what to look for, what that looks like. So here it is. Here is the groove. That's the key groove, and that's where the flywheel key should be. But boom, they hit something so hard they sheared the flywheel key, and it's now over there. So the spark that's going to be delivered is not going to arrive at the correct time. It's going to be off, so this mower is never going to run right until I get this flywheel off and replace that flywheel key so that this groove and that flywheel key groove are lined up there and there. See, it's off to the side because it's been sheared completely off. All right, so that's where we are now. I'm going to set the phone down and we're going to get this flywheel off now. I'm going to get me a little bit of JB Blaster and squirt a little bit of that around the base of that crankshaft where the flywheel key is, and kind of let that be soaking in there. And now I'm going to get me let's probably get this out of the way. I'm going to get this tank out of the way. I learned this from somebody else off the internet. I think it's a pretty cool idea. It's a pair of vice grips with some old fuel line on the end that you can use to pinch a fuel line with. So you got to where it clips like that. You know, there is fuel in this tank, and I'm going to be banging on this to get it off. So I'm going to pinch this line and get this fuel tank off of here. Got to let out on that screw a little bit to get this to. Okay, that'll keep all that fuel from leaking out. So now, I gotta get this fuel tank out of the way. To do that, I've got to get this cord free, and that's a 7/16. I'm going to take a 7/16 socket to get this cord holster loose enough to get it out. I'm not sure if y'all can see that or not, but I've got to get this loose enough to when I get this. Well, you know, I'll just take it all the way off and just do that. Okay. So now I'm taking the whole thing off. I'm gonna run it through here. Got the end of the pull cord now. and the holster that holds it on the side of the handle up there, all in one piece. Run it under this loop of the tank there so I can get this rewinder out of the way. So now I can get this tank off. When I took the rewinder off, I swung the oil dipstick tube. You have to lift it up and swing it out of the way. And so now I'm gonna loosen the hose clamp on this fuel line and see if I can start getting this thing off. There we go, it's coming off good. Maybe a little fuel leakage here from the hose. Let me get this thing up. And I've got a 3/8 screw holding this tank on, so I've got to get that off. And let's see, where's my extension? Where did you go? Okay, there we go. All right, got that screw out. It holds the tank on, so now the tank is loose, it's off. I'm gonna move it out of the way. There's probably old fuel in there. And while I'm in on this this whole deal here, I'm gonna get this plug off, and I'm gonna go ahead and take the ignition coil away because it's real close to that wheel, that flywheel, so I'm gonna get it off and reinstall it after I get the wheel off. With that screw holding the coil on, there's two of them, and the other one. Okay, get that one loose, and that one loose. So now this coil, I can move out of the way. I may take this plastic arm off. Haven't decided yet, because I may be able to get this off without worrying about it. But the other thing I want to do, let me show you this, is I don't need this starter mower or starter device. They run off a battery. The batteries always wear out, and I just use the pull cord. It's not worth it to me to worry about that, and that's just excess weight. So this is going to come off. There's just a couple of 3/8 screws that hold that on. There's one there you can see. The other one I can't see right now, but I'm going to remove that. But let's see if we can get this flywheel off. So I'm going to get a big hammer. And a copper slug or an old copper penny. You want it to be real copper. So that'll be old penny from the 70s or 60s or something like that. Got that on there. Now I need a lever. And my lever is gonna be, let me get this coil out of the way. So maybe where I'm gonna come in with my lever. I'm not sure yet. Let me get this coil out of the way. Come here, you. Yep. Okay, let's swing that over there. Let's see, I need to take the engine brake off. that engine brake was going to hold this instead of it being easy to move. It wouldn't have been. Now I've got to get something to come in and create leverage. Figure out a good place to come in at this thing. What I think I'm going to do is get a steel plate that I use for this and lay it there on the engine head. And that is going to be the fulcrum, because I do not want to break this plastic manifold. And lay this here, and now I can come in with this, and then it's not touching that plastic manifold. And it's not easy because of these on this type of flywheel, there's these little fins on the bottom, and it's not really allowing me to get under there, so I may not be able to use this tool. Let me get my big screwdriver. Maybe that'll work. Okay, this is a big screwdriver. I'm going to try and put it into one of these teeth here and see if I can get it to give me some leverage without touching that plastic manifold. Okay, that's sort of working right there. So I'm going to go ahead and hit it with the hammer now. Oh, one of my copper slugs came off. So, oh yeah, I forgot. Wait a minute. I need to go ahead and I need to screw this nut on 4 or 5 turns to help protect these threads. Protecting these threads by putting that on there a few turns. And now, put my little copper slugs up here. Let's see if I can get this thing off now. So I'm applying the leverage. That's one blow. Okay, now I'm going to turn it a little bit. By the way, I've got hearing protection on for this. I'm sorry how loud this is. Okay, now get my lever in there. Okay, it's still not loose. Sometimes it takes 4 or 5 good whacks or more to get this thing off. Swing it out to that thick part of this. There we go. I don't think that's touching. There we go. I don't know if you saw that or not, but this flywheel is loose now. So I'm going to take my nut off. And save that copper slug for later. I'll use that again. Now this comes off, see? And there's more debris from our friendly little mouse, so I'll probably get some more of that out of there. But there's half of the key is on the crankshaft and the other half is on the flywheel, so it's been sheared in half. Let me get a little screwdriver. I'm going to poke both of those out and show them to you. Not going that way, try from the top. There we go. So there's that half. And now here's the half that's stuck in the flywheel. Come on, there we go. So this is all that's left of the flywheel key. It's been completely sheared in half, so it did what it was supposed to do. So now I've got to replace that flywheel key and get everything all lined up here. But that's enough for now, because I got to clean some more mouse mess out of here. Stay tuned. We'll see if we can get this old gal running.